Karen, here we are again. It feels like deja vu. We were here last year doing a similar interview. I think the big difference is last year we were a little circumspect on a solution they were building together. And it's since been launched, and it's called the NTT Data Business Insights Engine. One of the, what I really remember about this is about a year ago, we were huddled at the HIMSS conference and drew this on a whiteboard, and it was a problem that could not be solved easily. And not to say this was as complex as solving Fermat's last theorem, but it was a similarly vexing problem, okay? And essentially what it was is healthcare didn't have a complete view of their data, but you know, I've since compared this to Fermat's last theorem. Could you share with the audience the problem they actually did solve and what made it so difficult for healthcare companies in the past?
Absolutely, and Jim, you're right. This is deja vu or vujade, whatever you want to say. The big problem that we had been hearing from our healthcare clients is that there's so much data out there. I mean, 30% of the world's data generated daily, according to Fortune magazine, is healthcare related. How do you get your head around that volume of data and the different types of data that are available? Graphics, spatial, image, think CT scans, lab values, not just healthcare claims or provider information, but how do you manage all of that data and be able to get value from it? And when we're trying to bring that data together, that's the struggle that the health plans and the providers were having. They couldn't do it in the environments that they had today, even the data lake environments. You still had to have multitudes of tools to be able to bring all of that together and manipulate it to make it meaningful. With the Business Insights Engine, with MarkLogic Data Operational Data Hub at the core, we did that in one fell swoop, as well as giving them the added value of being able to have foundational data governance, starting with data quality and data management. And then we're using the fast healthcare interoperability resources model, the FHIR model, to store that data in a canonical model which promotes interoperability across the healthcare continuum. That's something that nobody else has at this point.
It's really exciting. And MarkLogic is a foundational component of the solution, but the real fabric has even more depth to it. Can you describe how MarkLogic is leveraged in this solution and kind of a little more optics into what other technologies are involved in the solution?
Sure. As I said before, the Operational Data Hub is the central core component of the Business Insights Engine. It's where we bring the data in, store the raw data so that we have a copy of that. It begins the data lineage process, and then it allows us to do the data governance. We go through the process of curation and harmonization, matching and merging, validation of codes, all your typical data quality, bringing all of that data together and then putting it into that FHIR model. We've also leveraged another partner called CentralForce Health, where they have created a number of social determinants of health propensity models. What are things that are outside of healthcare that could have an impact on a member's health? Transportation availability, food availability, socioeconomic status, purchasing information, all of those kinds of things that could be creating barriers for members to get the appropriate healthcare at the appropriate time. We're bringing that in to provide a greater visibility to providers, to healthcare organizations to help them with that. We've layered our analytics capabilities on top of that with some of our other partnerships. We have a resellers agreement, for example, with DataRobot, which is machine learning. All of those components really bring together and provide that holistic solution that health plans need.
Very good. And this is a kind of a rhetorical question for me, but how long did it take to build this?
It certainly didn't take the 350 years it took to solve Fermat's theorem. However, we actually did some early design work and then physically started putting fingers to keyboards in November of 2018, and our first version was released in March of 2019. 5 months. That's extremely rapid development. We have a working prototype. We've already sold the solution and are implementing with a client here in the US. It's faster than anything I've seen in my 25 years of data management. Data warehouses, data lakes, minimum 18 to 26 months to start, and we did this in 5.
It's incredible. Not all healthcare companies are the same. What sort of industry standards has NTT Data used in building the Business Insights engine?
As I mentioned before, the FHIR model, the Fast Healthcare Interoperability Resources model, has been critical to us to being able to rapidly deploy, ingest, harmonize, and store that data and be able to rapidly deploy the analytics. And I was really excited this year at HIMSS when CMS Administrator Seema Verma came forward in her keynote speech talking about the advanced notice of proposed rulemaking that was pushing forward the concepts of interoperability. And knowing that we already had the FHIR model in place just made me think, we made a really good decision. We're ahead of the curve. We're really going to be able to help our clients faster.
Right, and so Karen, you and I have been involved with this since it was really a twinkle of the eye, okay? And I've got to tell you that my enthusiasm and excitement for this has not waned since we did this on the whiteboard the first time. So, and my observation is when we show this to a healthcare company, they get it. The light goes on, they see the problem. So I'm excited about it. For someone who's viewing this and wants to learn more about it, what do you recommend?
So there's a couple of tracks we can take. You can go to the website, the NTT America's website. We have a page on there that talks about the Business Insights engine, allows you to submit an inquiry for more information, and it would get routed to either myself or one of my colleagues, and we can get back to you. You can go to the MarkLogic website, do the same kind of thing, or you can just hook up with me on LinkedIn. It's pretty easy to find me, Karen Way, W-A-Y, and send me a message via LinkedIn.
Easy enough. Well, Karen, thanks for doing this. It's great to see you again this year, and let's see if we can make this an annual event.
I plan on it. Thanks,
Great.
Jim.
Thank you.